What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Wappo here, back with a brand new video for Marvel Strike Force. And in today's video, you guys, we're going to be going over Season 13 Cosmic Crucible defenses. Yes, Staliner, I hope you watch this video. I'm ready to be your little marshmallow. Let's get right into it. All right, so just for context, we are currently sitting at Masters 2 rank, 1985 Tribunal rating. So we just got promoted into Masters 2 last week. And let me show you guys kind of how my defense fared, okay? So let me go and show you my defenses for day one. So we were running Odin Illuminati in room 1 with a Sasquatch as a pre-taunt. Our opponent came in here with Apocalypse and Friends. So it was pretty clean for him. Let me show you exactly where he failed, though. Room number 3, we have Pav with the 3-piece of Annihilators and Super Scroll. Our opponent forgot to bring in an Ares here, so this actually is what cost him the entire round because he lost so much efficiency by having his characters die here. So he even admitted it. He came into my Twitch chat and said that if he would have brought Annihilators here, if he would have brought Ares here, it actually would have been a lot cleaner, and probably would have won the round if he would have brought Ares here because he was stuck behind the Glad the entire round. And I think that's the only, that was it. He one-shot everything, but it was just an efficiency battle, and it was all because of this room number 3. All right, day number 2, we fought one of our friends, Unthinkable. We one-shot everything. We actually had our highest score that we've had in the entire season. I think we put up a 5190. It was more so because of this right here. So stop using Absolute A-Force on defense. If you're running this, I think Dueling might have been the first one that suggested this. Stop doing it. It's fucking trash. Absolute A-Force is dog shit outside of Alliance War, especially if it doesn't have Kahori. So what our opponent did, he used a similar comp to day 1, except instead of using Odin, he actually brought in his Mephisto here. I personally like using Mephisto against Odinati teams. It could have been a little bit cleaner. I think most people should start running the Saw Owner team. It is a little expensive, right? It requires you to have Old Man Logan and Apocalypse and Mephisto on the same team, and Black Knight. But it can be a lot cleaner, and it could be the difference between winning or losing, if it comes down to efficiency. Second room, clean. Everything else was clean, I think, for the most part. So he took a big L here. His New Warriors was not built like kill shots, so nobody's New Warriors are built like kill shots, but he came into my room number 4, my Wanda's Revenge team, as they like to call it. My Scarlet Witch is the reason why I won this. I watched the replay. Scarlet Witch popped off. She got her ultimate off, and she wrecked his team. Cleaned up with this team, little Astral, little Ares action. Room number 5. So I made a big change in my defense from day 1 to day 2. Day 1, I was running Phoenix Force with Logan and Rogue and Capsam. So I didn't have the Nightcrawler in here. So had I had Nightcrawler here on day 1, Cabal would not have worked, I don't think, because Nightcrawler gives this team evade on spawn, and it basically stops the Black Cat from getting her revive strip off. So had I had a Black Cat in here, this might have been way different. I would have had to force my opponent to choose where he wants to use his Immortal X-Men. So I did change up the defense for day 2. Day 2, we were running the same thing, but this time we actually did have Nightcrawler on defense. And as you guys can see, even on a 1 million punchdown with Immortal X-Men, which is one of the newest and one of the best Cosmic Crucible teams on offense, it could not get the job done. So that was cool, and then he cleaned up with Cabal, King, Titania, and that was it. So he dropped 2 attacks, and we won with a pretty good score because we one-shot everything. Day number 3 was an absolute shit show. Room number 1, this guy was running a 3-piece Illuminati with Sasquatch and Red Hulk. As you guys can see, I tried to do... This is the last room that I had left to kill. So I had this, and I had a Liberty team that I had never faced before in Cosmic Crucible either. So we're learning things, okay? We're learning things. But yeah, we brought in Night Stalkers, lost that fight. So we came in with like a sack team, right? We just wanted to pull a couple abilities. I wasn't expecting this team to do anything. But they got the job done. They pulled some important abilities, and then we came back in with the same Night Stalkers team and Omega Sentinel and cleaned this up. And the reason I pulled Oath off of their team was so I can do this team right here. Now, there might have been a much better team to use against this room 2. If you have any suggestions for what I could have done differently in this room 2, please let me know. I might just watch Saw roast my video and he'll give me the answers here. But we had a Mephisto with Omega Sentinel and Spider Society in room 2 that we had to fight. And our whole goal was just try to get Oath to go before their Mephisto. So we brought in Oath for that 5% turn meter like advantage on offense. So we were able to first pack to their Mephisto with our Mephisto, and then we brought in Tangled Guardian just because that's kind of all we had left. Because you're going to see the rest of the stuff that this guy had on defense, and this is kind of all like some of the best tunes that we had left to pair with my Oath and Mephisto. But we got the job done. It wasn't pretty, but we got it done. Room number 3, this is what I did. I brought in... I had to do like a sack to try to get an exhaust onto their Black Knight so that way my Kahori could live. So this is the second team that I brought in here. Again, I probably could have played this a little bit better. I think this might have been like the first or second fight that I did, but I just didn't want to allocate too many good characters into this room 3 because I'm going to show you guys what I'm running on defense, which is no different from day 2, but I just had to. It was all about resource management at the end of the day. Resource management, character allocation, all that good stuff. So this is what I did. I did a sack, and then I brought in this team because I knew that I could afford, to drop at least 1 or 2 attacks because this guy had Mephisto and Odin on defense and Black Knight. So anyway, so this is kind of how that went. It still wasn't even clean even after the sack, but that's okay. Room number 4. Oh my gosh. Room number 4. Liberty in room 4. Now, I know my mistake here. I think if I would have brought in Mysterio over like Slayer or even Mysterio over Doc Ock, this fight could have been a lot cleaner than what this was. I wouldn't have gotten completely destroyed. Mysterio stops the immunity on spawn for the enemy team, so we could have actually been able to do some stuff. But we paid for it. Again, just kind of learning as we go. If you guys have a better suggestion for what to kill Liberty with, please let me know in the comments down below. And then we cleaned up with New Warriors. New Warriors still couldn't get the job done. So we did New Warriors for Big Time Spider-Man just to see if maybe Big Time Spider-Man, with flipping stuff could do something here. We wanted to try to flip some immunity so we can actually apply, the offense downs from New Warriors so we can get all that juicy turn meter rewind, but couldn't make it happen. So then we were left with 3 members at like less than 50% health, and then we cleaned up with whatever we had left. This was literally the last attack we did. It was rough, man. This whole CC was rough. Room number 5 was our cleanest attack. So we brought in Black Cat King, Cabal, and he had Shadow King and New Emma in here. I was curious how this would do, but as you guys can see, very clean score, 8369. No sweat off my back there. And then room number 6, this is actually the first attack that I did. Now, I was highly advised against this from guys like Zero and I think it was just Zero. Kill shot maybe. But I brought in Immortal here, thinking that I could possibly, maybe, get this Odin down to like a slither of health. But even a level 105 completely maxed out Storm barely tickled their Odin. Like, it didn't even push Odin below 50% health. So it is what it is. This is kind of, just skill error, whatever you want to call it on my part. But we did bring in Immortal here into room 6 with against an Orcus Odin team. This may have been where we could have used our Mephisto, and then we could have just double sacked their Mephisto. And I don't know. I think the best thing to do if you see an Odin and a Mephisto on defense, I don't know. I think if you see an Odin and a Mephisto on defense from your enemy, I think it might even be better to one-shot their Mephisto team and then just do a 2-tap on their Odin team, because in that way you're just dropping 1 attack as opposed to losing 800 points of efficiency. Yeah, so you're losing 400 points of efficiency by doing a 2-tap instead of losing 800 by doing a double sack against a Mephisto team. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below. So this is what we did. We did Immortal into their Orcus Odin, and then we cleaned up with Apocalypse, Doom, Moondragon, Emma, and Black Knight. So even this still, I mean, the cleanup wasn't all that bad, but we won. And that's kind of all that matters. We won. We won with a final score of like 47,000. Our opponent could not clear our room. Was it 6? Was it 5? I think it might have been 5. So this is what we're, again, same thing, running Illuminati Odin on defense. He tried using Phoenix Force, could not get the one-shot here. Tried using New Warriors, could not clean up a solo Odin. Probably walked into a Odin ultimate on that first turn, and then he brought in Old Man Logan and friends here, so that was cool. Room number 2, he dropped an attack onto my spiders, and then he just, you know, finally used like the right team to go against spiders, so that was good. Room 3, another dropped attack. He did Doom Dorm, Kahori, Absolute. Don't use Absolute on offense. Only use Kahori on offense. Just stop using Absolute in Crucible. They're trash. But Liberty's not trash. Liberty's actually kind of good, I guess, if you don't know how to fight into it, right? Like that's kind of the thing that's always been a thing in Cosmic Crucible is a new team come into the game. We're not sure how to fight against it, how to play into it. So, you know, it could trip up your opponent if they don't know, you know, how to play against those new teams. Room 4, Wanda's Revenge. He brought in full Secret Defenders. Room number 5, so this is where he could not clear, right? He just didn't have the tools to get it done because he used Immortal in room 6. He used Immortal in room 6, and then he just could not get through my room 5. Tried using Night Stalkers. I think for him, it would have been... I think the play would have been for him to try just doing Night Stalkers into room 6 and then do Immortal into room 5. But even then, as you guys saw on the previous round, my opponent could not clear my room 5 with his Immortal. There's a tricky little mechanic. If you know about it, you know about it. If you don't, it's, you know, it is what it is. But Old Man Logan stops charges from the enemy team. So if you don't have your Cable with a higher damage stat than your Storm, then Logan is going to stop the charges being gained from Storm. So she can't pop off with a big ultimate and kill your team. So this was cool, and then he brought in this, and then, yeah, he just couldn't get it done. So we won with a final score of 47,000, giving us that promotion to Masters 2. All right, let's talk about the defenses. This is what we're going to be running next week. Nothing too different. We're still going to be doing Odin Illuminati with a pre-taunt in room 1. Here are some of the ISOs that I like to do. I like having Fortifier on 3 of my members, Fortifier on Odin, Fortifier on Captain Britain, and Fortifier on Sasquatch. If you guys like different ISOs, let me know in the comments. Room 2, we're still running Spiders with Lizard. Yep, I'm not really going to do any changes to room 2. Room number 3, I think I'm going to continue playing Hide the Zucchini with Super Scroll. So we got the double pre-taunts on the end, and then we have Super Scroll in the middle. I like having Raider on my Super Scroll because he is going to go, you know, turn 1. He's going to pop off with his ultimate so we can get a nice fat crit. It could go south for our opponent, you know, maybe kill off like one of his important members, like a small Kahori or something like that. If he can't get to my Super Scroll in time. Room number 4, we still got the Wander's Revenge. It got us a win last week, so we're not going to change anything there. If I had a big Liberty, I'd possibly consider throwing them in room 4, but I'm going to keep this team. You could also do Morgan Le Fay in place of Quicksilver. So if you don't have a big Quicksilver and you got a big Morgan Le Fay, you can stick her in here with this team. Room number 5, we're trying something a little bit different. So instead of using Rogue in here as our 5th, we're actually going to be throwing in Captain Sam. Captain Sam is one of the best protectors to put with Omega Red Phoenix Force on defense. We got Nightcrawler in here stopping the Black Cats from being able to strip us because he applies the evades on spawn. So nothing's changing except instead of Rogue, we're going to be using Captain Sam on day 1 and just kind of seeing how that fares. If Captain Sam can possibly get to his ultimate, you know, he can give us a lot of turn meters, so that's going to be cool. We actually opted for Fortifier and Old Man Logan just to clear some vulnerables on his turn. So try using Cabal in this. I dare you. I double dog dare you. And then room number 6, so we're taking Dormammu off of defense because even if we had Dormammu in here, I haven't been seeing anybody use their Night Stalkers in room 6. They've just been using Immortal on it, which is good. You know, the whole point of my defense is to give my opponent some options, especially for like room 5 and 6, is like make it harder for my opponent to decide where he wants to use Immortal X-Men, right? So I was running Dormammu all last week in room 6, but now I'm going to throw Pav in here. That way, in case he does try to go for an Immortal in room 6, it does make it a little bit tougher by having Pav in here. And then if he tries Immortal in room 5 and doesn't know about that whole damage stat, you know, mechanic thing, the Old Man Logan charge mechanic thing, then he could possibly screw this room 5 up. So again, creating more RNG for your opponent, that's what it's all about. I know I'm committing quite a bit of offensive tools in this room 5. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I can afford it, because I have, you know, the tools and the skills to pay the bills. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel for some more Marvel Strike Force content. We cover new player stuff. We cover Cosmic Crucible. Catch me live on Twitch if you guys want to see me do my attacks live. Links in the description down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.